she would approve of that, so I'm not gonna say nothing. And I'm gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about what the video is about. I'm gonna just tell you about the girl. And then towards the end, I'm gonna tell y'all like about the like, what the video is about. But we met in September. I asked one of my friends. I was like, "Yo, what? Can you put me on to some bitches?" Coincidentally, he sent hers, and she was at first. I was like, "Eh, she's alright." Like, you know, eh. But the more, it's like she got those eyes. It was like the more I looked into her eyes, the more like she got more prettier. Because like you see a lot just by looking at them, in their like you see a lot. And we would talk. We would talk for like 2 days at first. I think I just left her undelivered because I was still like in a situationship at the time with my ex, and yeah, it was like too much to handle. So like, and not too much to handle, but the situationship would take up all the time that I had. So I didn't have no time for her. But after my situationship, after that got over with, I definitely hit her back up. And surprisingly, she responded. I've always wondered, like, what if she never responded? Where would I be right? Where would I be at right now? Like, would I still be making this video? I don't think I would be. I don't think I would at all. But yeah, she texted back. We would talk here and there, like we just talk like normal people, just like in a talking stage, I guess. And like her birthday was coming up, until like one day, she just randomly decided to talk to me about her day. And from that point on, the conversations were never drawn no more. We always had something to talk about. And then we started getting on the phone. I don't have those pictures no more, but I know that the first time we ever got on the phone for real, for real. This I remembered, October 20th. That was when we got on the phone for real, for real. The pretty ass was showing me that she was getting ready to go out with her friends. She looked so, like, and ever since then, it was just love, just young love. And me and my queen never argued during the time. And while we were talking, opened up to her about some things about my life. And then 10/29, 2023, I asked her to be my girlfriend. But I didn't tell y'all that I'm a piece of shit. And I was still talking to my ex at the time. Two of my exes. Well, the first, well, not the ex. No, it was just one. It was one, actually. We gonna call this one, we gonna call the ex Funplex. We gonna call it one ex Funplex and then other ex is ex. Because she don't deserve a nickname. Fuck that bitch. But Funplex and ex. I was talking to Funplex. I, I can't say Well, from me, I wasn't really talking to Sunplex. She would talk. She would call me on hella times. I would never answer, never answer. And I mean, I would text her. I would answer here and there, and I would text her back and stuff. But I was doing Sunplex the worst way and treating 1029 the best way. Cause 1029, that's just 1029. If 20, if 1029 ever watches this video, she knows what I mean by 1029 is just 1029. Just that bitch. She's just that bitch. But yeah, we would just talk every day on the phone every day. It was never not one time throughout the day that we wasn't on the phone or talking. And while I was in Guatemala, after I asked her out, bro, that was like, that's when we really clicked. I opened up to her about my father, which I don't do at all. I don't ever talk to nobody about my father or anything about my life, because it just reminds me of just how bad I was treated, like how bad I was neglected. And it always just made me mad. It always made me mad. But Brianna, she she was my therapy. She will always calm me down. She always knew what to say. And she was just there for me when no one else was. And from that point on, we go on to like December when karma would hit me. And she ended up finding out about Action Complex on Christmas Day when I met her mother. It was just bad. Horrible time, man. Made it up to her. I got her a promise ring, which I was just doing shit, to be honest, but I really, at the time, I valued it, cherished it, and I really gave it to her and I meant it. But looking back on it, it was like I was just doing it just to make her forgive me. Like, just to say, like, yeah, I'm sorry. But we made up like a day or two afterwards. And from there on, we was just happy. From January to April. Those were the past 3 months of my life. If I could relive it 10 times over again, bro, not even 10 times, I would relive it a million times over again. 1029, she left her mark. She left her mark. Then April came along. And I was being a dumbass. And I betrayed her trust. Disrespected her so bad. And this is where I say it all began. For real, for real. And I've done so much reflecting. And like, I really had no reason to do anything whatsoever. I had no reason to do it whatsoever. So I had a best friend at the time that I fucked. I didn't. I wouldn't. How do I put this? That was more than a best friend. I made that friendship more than what it was. It wasn't. It wasn't her. And it wasn't the both of us. It was just me. I initiated it all. I'm a man. I can admit it. And I was just being so dumb. I hurt the girl that loved me most. Bad. Like, so bad. The more I reflect, the more I realize I treated this girl so, so, so bad. Then after that, we would just be arguing. We would argue a lot, and it was getting to that point where I thought, hmm, maybe it isn't what it meant to be. But if it's real, it would come back. It always came back. The bond always came back. I know how 1029 is. The more I reflect, the more I understand why she held her feelings, why she always held her tongue. She loved the fuck out of me. She loved me so much to the point where she knew that if she talked about her feelings, it was gonna fuck up everything. Cause like, this is what I think. I don't think she really wanted me to know how she felt, because I felt like I would have looked at it wrong way, and then it would have caused like more arguments. And knowing me, that probably would have happened. But she loved me so much, because she just always, she was just always there. And then the summer came around, and again, just being stupid, I just kept betraying her trust. I got caught talking to another girl. Again, being dumb, I was easily influenced by one of my friends. It told me to get on Wiz and, just do what I do. And I did. And it was not only that, but it was a girl. I got her number and everything. Again, betraying her trust, being dumb, being stupid, just losing her little by little by little. But the amount of love she had for me, it just like every time I would lose her, the amount of love she had for me would just erase that, and then we would just go back to being normal. And I felt like that was our biggest problem, that she would never emotionally react. She always thought about it to herself, by herself. She was always alone with her thoughts. And I realized that her being alone with her thoughts, like, besides, even though I cheated and all that, that alone just makes me a horrible boyfriend. She shouldn't have to feel that way. She shouldn't have to feel like she's misunderstood by the boy she wants to be understood by. Like, and I was just, I was